Howdy, y'all. My name is ChucklesTC, and welcome back to my Monoposto INDYCAR season. And today we're going to be racing in Japan. But first, let's go into a spotter's guide. So Scott Dixon's still in the Juan Pablo Montoya Target car. And Alex Blow is still in the DHL colors. Andretti Global is still rocking the Pepsi with Kyle Kirkwood. But Will Power's rocking the Busch Light. And you see a couple of added sponsors on here that you'll see full cars for. And eventually, I'm going to do a fun version, not a corporate Andretti version of this and Kirkwood's car. But I think it's very nice. And I do like the white with the light blue look. Over at Dale Corn Racing, you still have the Rockstar Energy. It's a rough week for me as Rockstar Energy was announced as, what's his name? Tyler Reddick's primary sponsor going forward, which means they're a NASCAR sponsor right now. Not IndyCar. So I was off on this. Ramon Grosjean, still unsponsored, but once again, rough for the Rockstar Energy car. Meyersink Racing, another bad one, is Liquid Death. Yes, they are sponsoring IndyCar for Rahal. And honestly, I really do like how close I was with the sponsorship. And honestly, I think if I had an actual IndyCar model, I could have done better. But with the head, it's in a similar area. The only thing I'm missing is gold. But I do like the white and black out. It's Marcus Armstrong and Felix Rosenqvist are still in the same cars they have been since the inception of this car. Over at Rahal Letterman Landing and Racing, it is still the Meyer car and the Fetch Rewards car. At AJ Foyt Racing, we're actually going to switch something up here real quick. Let's go back to the 8 surface car. With the black Comatrons car in the Homes for Our Troops car. I just think this one looks so much better while reflective. Over at ECR, there you see a brand new car, Direct Supply, for Rasmussen, and a Sun King minor sponsorship. And oh, well, there you have it. You still have Rossi in the Dollar General car. Over at Hunko's, a brand new car. We have the Oscar Mayer car, made to somewhat resemble one of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles. Yeah, very cool. And you got to see half of this car last week. And then over on Stingray Rob, you have the Agape Energy car. In Agape, you can now order, by the way. I'm not being paid to say this. I'm not, as of recording this at least, I have not been accepted into their ambassador program. But I do love the mission that they stand for. And it is very cool. And I will be doing much more of these cars. And it is a brand that Stingray himself follows. So it makes me even more like them even more for sponsorship. Over at McLaren, we still have only Home Depot and just the Aero car. But at least a custom Aero car will be in the future. I don't know if that's going to be the next car I make. I don't think I want to share what that one will be. Over at Team Penske, it's still just going to be a Folgers and Porsche. I believe this is a slightly different one than I used last week. Not certain though. Once again, it'll only be like 2 weeks before all these cars will be gone through. And I'll be back to like custom cars. And then some drivers will start to be able to alternate what cars they're using. And then we go over back on the Coors Light car for Jimmy Johnson. I know he raced it for a long time, but it is still a great looking car. Jack Harvey's still on the Cooler Ranch grinds car. And Prima still with only Krispy Kreme and regular Prima. But now let's hop into the championship where Will Howard got third place in the championship after claiming his second win of the season, the only multi-time winner. But let's get into it for qualifying in Japan. It's an 8-minute session. And like always, we might do a tour of the track with Dixon, or it would be fun. Pato Ward. Yeah, let's go Pato. On the outlap. We'll do a ride along with him. And the reason we are racing in Japan is because, well, not only does IndyCar have a history of racing in Japan, it is a race I can put on the calendar, but this is Long Beach weekend. We were racing in Japan because in 2008, the year of the merger, the race in Long Beach and the race in Japan happened on the same weekend. And I believe it depends on what part of the world you were in. On the same day. And Danica Patrick claimed her first and only career win at that track. So it is very cool to be able to come back here. And we're going to see if someone else becomes a first-time winner today. Drivers in the field without a win. Rookie Dennis Hauger, Ramon Grosjean, Marcus Armstrong, Mick Schumacher, Kyle Collette, Santino Ferrucci, Stingray Robb, David Malukas, Jack Harvey, Jimmy Johnson, Eilhart, and Schwartzman. So about like half the grid, I'd say. Yeah, around like 10 or 11 drivers in case I forgot one. But yeah, drivers now starting their hot laps. I know we didn't stick with Pato the entire time. There we see Pelot's car. And I'm going to be interested to see if IndyCars struggle here at all. As I'm hoping I'll be able to actually finish recording this before I have to leave and head to Louisville for Louisville Thunder. But I may not be able to, as I'm trying to focus on my newest series as well with the NASCAR. This, you guys, the 14 people who watch this series are used to it coming out days late. Usually only by a day. And I should be able to get it out by that night. And hopefully tomorrow at some point I'll have time to record the voiceover for the race, or the commentary. But it is going to be interesting. Pato sets the fastest time first. But Pelot sets the fast sector 3 and goes P2 by 5 thousandths of a second. Here in Japan, it is a fairly long circuit. As you can see with how spread out the field is, McLaughlin and Ferrucci bump Pato down. Malukas takes P4 between Pato and Pelot. Where will Dixon wind up? That's the question, because for some reason we are following him. And Dixon sets fastest sector 3, and Dixon will go to provincial pole. What about VK last car to set a lap? RVK goes P11. All right. Dixon sets the fastest lap by 7 thousandths of a second. P24, Dennis Hauger is 8 tenths of a second back. It's going to be close with all these cars having to come in, get a pit stop, and make their way around the track for one extra lap of qualifying. You see Pato and Lungard, first cars in, but they are going to have to double stack. I believe they're near the end, so Pato can go in and out. No, he's going to have traffic. Okay, Pato able to get an early release. He's going to be the first one back on track. No, he's cut off by Schwartzman. Very speedy stop there by the Prema team, getting Schwartzman as much clean air as he could ask for. So there we see Ray Hall peeling in. I'm not surprised that Eilot's already back out on track as well. I'm really not sure what to expect out of this lap. Do I think anyone can gain 7/1000ths of a second? Or that McLaughlin can? Yes. But Dixon very well could also gain that 7/1000th of a second. Obviously, qualifying is very tight, but I think there's a real chance that the order won't change all that much. So now, Schwartzman and Pato entering the final sector. Schwartzman will take the green flag after this final set of turns. And it looks like everyone should be able to make it in time to set one last hot lap. Schwartzman and Pato. Pato qualified P4 provincially. Or provincial. Oh no, Schumacher out setting a hot lap now. Lungard also out. Rasmussen. So the hot laps start to tick in. We have to watch and see when wants a faster sector 1 or 2 or 3, whatever the case may be, to go on new provincial pole. As Dixon now will start his qualifying lap. The pole time is 1 minute 21.628 seconds. That's the current pole time. Will anyone be able to knock it off? So here comes Schwartzman and Pato. Did not see anything about them setting a fastest sector. Schwartzman will stay still. Pato will stay still. Schwartzman gets a full cooldown lap. Schumacher will not improve. Lungard does not improve. Something happened up top, but I didn't really see it. I'm watching that top 10 to see if anyone changes. McLaughlin and Ferrucci stay. It appears that Dixon is safe and will win the pole for the race. I wonder if it's because of when the time runs out that they're unable to set a better qualifying lap. Well, it looks like Grosjean dropped down, I feel like. Yeah, here are your qualifying results from Japan. Sir Scott Dixon will start on pole for Chip Ganassi Racing, followed by Scott McLaughlin for Team Penske, then Santino Ferrucci, Kyle Kirkwood, Pato Award, Alex Pillow, David Lucas, Will Power, Felix Rosenquist, and Christian Rasmussen. That's your top 5 rows and your top 10 starters. Starting in 11th is Renus VK, then Alexander Rossi, Jack Harvey, Christian Lundgaard, Kyle Collette, Jimmy Johnson, Stingray Robb, Marcus Armstrong, Robert Schwartzman, and Graham Rahal. That is your top 20, top 10 rows. 21st, Mick Schumacher. 22nd, Romain Grosjean. 23rd, Callum Ilott. 24th, Dennis Hauger. 12 rows, 24 drivers. It's on to one of the biggest races the sport has to offer, the Long Beach, Japan race. Thank you all. It's on to the race. All right, we're loaded into the race. We are going to actually go through the starting grid. It's been a minute since I recorded qualifying. As you saw, it was a bit delayed. And there you look at David Malukas. We were only going to do a bit of the grid. Who's in a brand new livery for today. We'll just blame it on like a wreck in qualifying or something. But we'll actually follow along with him after, or right now, if we can get on board. There you see, go ahead and try to guess what it is going to be, but it's going to have a lot of different versions of that car coming up. It is moving into essentially a main sponsor role for the 12 car. There will still be a Verizon car and a clearance car, but expect a lot of combo cars with sponsorship. Rasmussen with a 5-second penalty. That was definitely a camera angle. VK up in 9th, Rasmussen and Power battling for 10th. As Kirkwood keeps it over McLaughlin. Dixon leading by about a second over Santino Ferrucci. And in the top 10 we have two drivers searching for their first win, being Santino Ferrucci and David Malukas. Those are the two that can realistically get it done today. Both Dixon already with about a 3-second lead over the American. It's going to take some bad luck for the Ganassi team. This could be exactly what the Ganassi team needs. But McLaughlin has been having a lights-out season compared to usual. So he's still in the points lead. Just consistently in the top 10. Dixon with the fastest Sector 1. Can anyone knock him off? His teammate Pillow, championship favorite, down in 7th. The only real concern for a lot of these guys will be Ferrucci. He's not one of these top team drivers, but he's constantly running up there like he is. And yes, he has that Penske partnership, but you look at the Ganassi partnership car of Meyer Shank, and they're running 8th and 20th. Yeah, you can say the Foyt cars aren't running great, but I mean, they're running 13th and 2nd. That's a lot different than what we're seeing from the Meyer Shank partnership. And that can easily change. It can be just an early season get. And who knows what happens after Monaco Indy 500. But yes, this is going to go up over a day after the Grand Prix of Long Beach ended. But with Pillow being a 3-time winner in 5 races in IndyCar, as Malukas gets back around him, we still in this only have 1 repeat winner, and he's running down in 11th. Will Power. And Pillow running a bit off track, trying to get around little Dave. So right now, no cars have uh, dove into the pits. Stingray and Harvey were the only ones to start on the hard tires. And then Hauger, VK, Pillow, Pato, and McLaughlin were the only ones to start on mediums. As Ferrucci fading. See if we can get an onboard shot and take a look at those tires. Yeah, definitely striping in the rears, which probably means chunking in the fronts. But McLaughlin gaining a little bit of time on Dixon here, who will stay out another lap. If there's anyone I trust with strategy, it is that Scott Dixon crew. Oh, Schwartzman with a penalty for causing a collision. Doesn't look like it's affected anyone much. And let's see who all went to pits this time by Kirkwood. Okay, let's wait till it's done updating. All right. Kirkwood, Malukas, Armstrong, and Schumacher all pit this time by. Malukas and Schumacher going with the hard option, Kirkwood and Armstrong going with the soft option. There you see Stingray about to get passed by Graham Rahal. Which is interesting. You could really see Stingray and Harvey both jump up into the top 10 on strategy. And if they can match their pit stops up with the other strategy, second pit stop, they could really get a huge jump. And for Malukas and Schumacher, if they can make this last another 10 laps on these hards, they can easily be in contention, as they are 36 seconds back. But if they can just stay on the gas as Dixon comes in this time by, the leader into the pits, McLaughlin will stay out. Pato follows the leader in. As a whole fleet of cars from the lead will come in, advancing Harvey to third. McLaughlin to lead Pillow in second. And we'll get all the cars who pit this time by in just a minute, as Malukas has caused a collision. All right. Dixon pits from first, drops down to seventh, already cutting it up through traffic. Also pitting that time by was Pato, Ferrucci, Renus VK, Felix Rosenquist, Rasmussen, Johnson, Rahal, Grosjean, and Schwartzman. It appears that most of those drivers have chosen the two-stop strategy and gone on the hard tires. Dixon did not. He went on softs. How will this affect his race, as he's going to be doing a two-stopper? He did only drop down to fifth, and he has a huge advantage over everyone in front of him. I'll be watching that number 9 car closely as he makes a move on Kyle Collette. Around the outside, he will not get it done. There's a chance he's just biding his time and saving his tires. As McLaughlin will pit, and my guess is Pillow follows him in. Will Power sets the fastest sector 2. And Pillow does follow McLaughlin in. Harvey advances to the lead, moving Dixon up into second place, but Dixon lost quite a bit of lap time there. And all the remaining drivers other than Stingray and Harvey will pit this time by. And Hauger, apparently. Yes, Hauger stays out one more lap on the medium tires. Dixon's the first car on soft tires, then Kirkwood. And then the first car on the hard tires of the second strategy are McLaughlin and Pato. No one took the mediums for their second tire. Harvey and Rob are still yet to pit, but it does look like rain is coming. If it does, this could be huge for Harvey. Still searching for his first win. Ooh, virtual safety car for whom? David Malukas. Big wreck there. This could be big for Harvey if it can last till he gets around. But currently running inside the top 10 drivers searching for their first career wins, leader Jack Harvey, and fourth Stingray Rob, seventh Santino Ferrucci. Fortunately, the virtual safety cars ended and Dixon gained a full second, and gaining fast on Jack Harvey. Ooh, Christian Rasmussen will send Dennis Hauger around, causing yellow flag in sector 3, but uh, Hauger stayed in front of Rasmussen, but Hauger has to come into the pits this time by, as he's making his first stop anyways, and Lundgaard causes a collision now. It's the back of the field getting choppy, but Dixon here gaining time rapidly. In will he make the pass here in this slow section? Less than a tenth of a second separating them there. He'll bide his time, but now going to the big, long left-handed turn. Still no, Scott Dixon playing it smart. Sort of saving energy, saving the effort, coasting, and he'll get side by side here. He's making Harvey use more and more of his tire, the more Harvey's having to drive it around. And Dixon coming to lap 8 has put a lot of wear on those tires. And he'll be going for the lead down into turn 1. He will get it. Scott Dixon to the lead on 3-lap-old softs. Jack Harvey is second, and 8-lap-old hards. Rob and Power to pit lane. Same with Armstrong, who's thrown on mediums for his final stint. He'll stay out over Dennis Hauger for now. Hauger likely going to be able to pass him. Now I'd be watching Jack Harvey and Scott Dixon to see if they come in. And I'd be watching the sky too to see if that rain does come in that it's looked like we were going to have. Kirkwood goes around Scott McLaughlin for third place. That is huge in the championship. Oh, but McLaughlin gets him back. You want to keep that Penske power behind you and hope they have a little bit of bad luck. But McLaughlin has a huge advantage here, is the whole energy of Team Penske is all focused on him as Little Dave is out. And Kirkwood's now falling behind Pato. Kirkwood on 4-lap-old softs, struggling, but Dixon peels in. First pit stall, easy in, but it's going to be a rough out. He'll squeeze out before Kirkwood, putting on the medium tires and dropping down. Probably outside the top 10, McLaughlin to the lead, only on 3-lap-old hards. Likely going to be able to make it to the end. Dixon drops to 12th. Having to defend from Lundgaard. Dixon, who's led most of the race, may be in danger of losing it all at the end because of a rare poor strategy call. And you want to talk about a good stop? Kirkwood was in 5th. He drops down to 20th. Dixon from first drops down to 12th. He just gained a spot, now in 11th. He has a tire advantage over everyone in front of him. And if any of them need to make a pit stop or a caution comes out, he is clearly favored as he picks off another one on his first lap on these tires. On the outlap from the pits, he's picked off 2, looking at 3, and Jimmy Johnson ahead of him as he's just now halfway through his first lap. And he'll pick off Jimmy Johnson, now setting his eyes on Kyle Collette. 16 seconds separate him and the leader. Pato now catching up to McLaughlin as well. And if I'm Kirkwood, I'm just in shambles. Oh, there goes Rossi around. And Johnson. Does Dixon avoid it? It appears that Dixon does avoid it. Palou pits. Schumacher pits. The old flag in Sector 3 does nothing but help the Penske gain back some time. Dixon is up into 6th after one lap on fresh tires. Johnson penalized, Lundgaard penalized, Rasmussen all penalized. Harvey also running in 8th on that same strategy as Dixon. Or I guess Harvey's only on a one stopper. But still, McLaughlin with those 4-lap old tires running in 1st. Can he hold on, or will the fall off start to become obvious? Dixon's gaining around 3 seconds on him this lap as Harvey moves up into 7th. And the virtual safety car is out for Felix Rosenqvist. Oh, and Dixon hits, contact Dixon had. And that's going to ruin Scott Dixon's day. He has absolutely no wings. He's halfway through his lap. He's going to drop to the rear. And that's going to hand the second win of the season to Scott McLaughlin, it appears. Unless McLaughlin has issues come up. As you look at Dixon here, Johnson, Lundgaard, Rahal, and Rasmussen are all going to have a huge advantage over him. And we look at this huge fleet of cars and just wonder how they're not going to have an incident. McLaughlin, Pato, Ferrucci all pit. Rinus VeeKay to the lead on 6-lap old hard tires. It's going to be a 5-second gap between him, or 4 seconds between him and Jack Harvey. Harvey going for his first win. VeeKay going for his second career win. The coveted Japan. Those tires are very worn. Can we get an onboard to see the exact quality of the tire? He's lost 0.3 of a second this lap. Can he keep it together? Oh, about a second, actually. It's going to be tight. I'm going to have to focus very closely on that battle. As you know, I am biased to VeeKay. But a first-time career winner. Never mind. McLaughlin's going to get him. He's on softs. He already passed Harvey. And it's a 1-second gap. Unless the leaders collide. McLaughlin just at the fastest Sector 2. He's less than half a second away from Rinus VeeKay. This will be the pass for the win. Does VeeKay keep it on track, though? He does. 2 laps to go. VeeKay appears to have a bit more straight line speed than the Penske. VeeKay trying to show up for Hunko Hollinger, get the team their first team win, get his second career win at what is a crown jewel of the sport, because it's the equivalent of Long Beach. Way less than half a second now. Can he defend it? He will not. Oh. McLaughlin will get clear. VeeKay holds on to P2. That is rough for the Dutchman and for the Argentinian team. Will we have any other mix-ups? Yeah, oh, wow. Okay. McLaughlin pulls out to a 3-second lead instantly. Harvey now going for P2, leaving VeeKay in the hands of Pato O'Ward. So it was looking like Going to be a great finish for VK. May not be as great after all, as he is on the oldest tires out there. And speaking of looking bad, Dixon way down the field. As we come to the final lap, Pato and VK are going to be battling it out across the line. VK holds on to the podium for now. Can he defend the Mexican for one more lap? The battle for only the second podium for Juncos is well underway. Repping the new sponsor to the team, can it be done? And since Grind's Energy joined Dreyer Reinbold and Jack Harvey, they have been nothing but successful. Can it happen here for the Dutchman? No, as Potter will get past him just where McLaughlin passed him one lap ago. As VK sees that certain podium slip from his fingertips, the win slip from his hands. I mean, nothing to be ashamed of. He still has an excellent shot going through the rest of the season. But can anything be done on this final lap as McLaughlin rounds the final turn? He'll win his second race of the season, followed by Jack Harvey, Pato Award, Renus VK. Lundgaard with a 5-second penalty will come through next. Then Ferrucci, Pillow, Ilott, Stingray Rob, double top 10 for the Juncos team. And Kyle Kirkwood, yellow flag in Sector 1 as someone must have wrecked across the line. And yellow flag in Sector 3 as well. I don't see what that is for. Oh, power slow. Power blew a tire. 2 tires. All 4 tires, apparently. And there you see Robert Schwartzman finishes last of the running cars, essentially, because Will Power all but DNF'd on that final lap. And here is your podium. From Mexico, Pato Award racing for Arrow McLaren. From England, Jack Harvey racing for Dreyer and Reinbold Racing. And from New Zealand, Scott McLaughlin racing for Team Penske. Then, like I said, in 4-3 is VK. Great result for the Juncos team. 5th, Santino Ferrucci. 6th, Alex Pillow. 7th, Callum Ilott. 8th, Christian Lundgaard. 9th, Stingray Rob. 10th, Kyle Kirkwood. 11th, Mick Schumacher. 12th, Graham Rahal. 13th, Kyle Collette. 14th, Sir Scott Dixon. Very disappointing result for him. 15th, Dennis Hauger. 16th, Jimmy Johnson. 17th, Romain Grosjean. 18th, Marcus Armstrong. 19th, Christian Rasmussen. 20th, Alexander Rossi. 21st, Robert Schwartzman. 22nd, Will Power. 23rd, Felix Rosenquist. And 24th, Lil Dave. Fro and Dave both retired from this race. The contact with Fro, teammates with Scott Dixon, ruined Dixon's chances to win. And there you see the point standing. Dennis Hauger still the only driver without points this year. But Scott McLaughlin has a huge over a race lead over Pato Award. So it goes McLaughlin, Award, Power, Pillow, Ferrucci, Malukas, Kirkwood, Rosenquist, Harvey, and Dixon are your top 10. VK scored 12 of his 14 points in this race today. And Rob scored a good chunk of his points as well, if not all of them. Let's go to the main lobby and take a look at the Constructors Champions. As you expect, Penske has a huge multi-race lead over Andretti Global. And there you see just the absolute domination by Scott McLaughlin. Second, first, second, 10th, second, second, first. In a 23rd DNF in race 1, I suspect. Maybe not. In C, I guess that means no contest. DNF, yeah, okay. So just a raw 23rd, I guess. 23rd, second, first, second, 10th, second, second, first. Outstanding from the Penske driver. No surprise, Pato Award is in second. 9th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 1st, 5th, 3rd. But you go down and look at Dixon and how rough he's had it. Win round 1, has scored points one other time, and it was a podium. A lot of these aren't his fault. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And come back next episode. We're going to be racing in Germany. Thank you all and goodbye.